So, welcome back.
Wow, how are you?
I'm good. Good.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Back together though. That's important.
That's
important thing.
Baruch Hashem.
So last time we talked a little bit about background and about a little bit about history and America and North America and all that stuff. Why don't we start with today, like just kind of in a short thing, what brought you to Shakuf? At the end, after all of the amazing stories of tshuva and everything.
So with me, it was just I was, let's say 3-4 years ago. I was in my late 50s. I just felt there's an aspect in my life that I'm just not happy with.
An aspect.
I thought that I was already almost a complete person. That's what I thought a few years ago. And then I said, there's one thing or a few things that I need to still adjust because they're bothering me. And I've been getting feedbacks from my wife that, this is something that you need to work on. So for me, it was like, I would categorize it as truth. I felt that I've been, excuse me, I have not been 100% honest with myself, honest with who I am, comfortable with who I am. I felt that for too many years I'm trying to hide behind different masks. Mask of how I can please or how I can get respect or love from the outside world. This is something that goes back to my childhood.
Wow.
And I figured it's time to deal with this.
Wow. So, you're saying so much there. I just, basically the what you said is you're looking for truth.
In one word, that's what I was looking for.
You were like, I'm on the way home, but you're really not on the way home, and
white lies, like even to myself, things, I wasn't.
Give an example, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I can just tell you that this is definitely an issue for me, so I'm thinking about what to say as you're talking.
So in so many aspects, it's like even at work, I've been in the construction business for many years.
Okay.
I was like, I had to pretend. I figured in order to get a job, I need to show something that I'm not. To express something that it wasn't exactly what I thought.
So that was bothering you? it sounds like it may have been successful.
It was successful, but inside I felt that I'm just not.
Just an itch.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I'm not comfortable with who I am, so I always have to build something around me. It's and it was true also in a lot closer relationship with my wife, with my kids. I needed to, for example, with my kids. Always to pretend that I'm strong, that I'm able.
You're right. That is right.
This is this is the way it's gotta be. And even though I didn't think so, I had to pretend because I wanted the kids to feel that that Abba, Dad, knows the direction. He's strong. He's able. He's capable. But it was all a cover. I wasn't comfortable to show weakness. I wasn't comfortable to show that maybe I don't know everything. It was an uncomfortable feeling for me to expose who I really was, and I figured it was aching me already. It takes a lot of energy to constantly try to show something that you're not.
Right.
No, I was getting tired of it.
Yeah. So just a very new change. Come to the true Ami.
Yes.
Get back to the true self.
Yeah, and be comfortable with it, because so many years I was uncomfortable with it. I figured that if I'm not going to show who I am, I won't get the respect, I won't get the love that I so much felt that I needed.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful point. To be able to be open now, today, even to discuss this, I think it's a big step in the right direction to be able to say it. And I can just say from my perspective, I very much identify with what you're saying. I don't know if that was the reason that I came to Shakuf, but I think that, the way that we grew up in North America, so much of what we're expected to do is, your CV, your show, what have you done? How many letters do you have after your name?
Yeah.
And it's tiring. it's tiring. And I think for me there was always the fear that if I am truthful, then I will be rejected. You know, if I show, you know, my true colors, then, and not what someone wants to hear, then I will just be, you know, sort of pushed to the curb.
Exactly.
And I think that realizing, I guess through the process of what we've gone through here in Shakuf, that there's actually something better waiting for you on the other end.
Yes, yes, and this is something that always that I didn't see. I think all of us come to a point where we see that by trying to hide and to get respect from places which are not emet, which are not the truth, actually distances us from what we're really looking for. We're looking for love, acceptance, and we're trying to get it in the wrong way. And we get further away from getting it. And
looking
when
for
we're
love in all
open,
the wrong places.
yeah, and when we're ready to break that barrier, to break that white lies or whatever you want to call it, not being ourselves, covering ourselves with different masks of who we're not. You know, the minute we let go of this, all of a sudden we see that people want to get closer to us. People are saying, "Oh wow!" One of the things that was very clear with me going through this with my wife, and I've seen it now with other people in Shakuf, is and hearing their story, is that when you're trying to be somebody else, although you're trying to communicate it, the other person feels that there is a gap between what you say and who you are.
Just a little fly in the ointment.
Something is missing. There's, you know, it's like something is missing. He's saying something, but I feel something different.
Oh my
when
gosh.
There's when you see and you feel something different, or you
how
hear,
often does that happen, right?
it creates a barrier, and
like,
you say, "Wait, I'm not comfortable with," you know, even if it's in the subconscious.
Sure.
You don't feel like it's another person. Let's say a friend, and he's talking something, and you feel something different. It's, you know, it's like they say. It's like they say, when you talk with somebody that really says things as they are. Right. You know, there's no barrier, there's no filter. It's comfortable to sit with them.
Yeah.
When you feel that there's the talk and the person itself, there's a little bit of a gap. You know, there's you know, it's, you don't feel like getting too close.
Okay, I mean that's amazing. But like, so what I mean. You know, we're talking about Shakuf. You come here, you want to solve this. What about the program? How does that work? I mean, how does it get to these issues? I mean, these are huge issues. Think if you went outside and took a poll in the street, you know, who has an issue with telling the truth to their spouse all the time, or being honest and you know.
So I don't know. For me, and I've seen it here in Shakuf with other people, I think the first step is admitting it, because just admitting that you're not 100% truthful with everything you do, admitting that you're always trying to cover yourself with a mask of being somebody else, just admitting it and sharing it with a group of people is the beginning of being able to overcome it.
I mean, I don't know, that sounds great, but it sounds super scary. I mean, you know, you're talking about coming to people that you don't necessarily know and admitting weakness, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
how was it for you when you did it first time?
I would say that it was very difficult. Very difficult. For me, you know, looking the poster, very important.
Yeah.
And so if I ask myself now, what was it that allowed me to make that step? You know, to say, okay, you know, like, admit, you know, here's where I'm faking, here's where I'm cutting corners. I think it was because I felt like I was in a place that I didn't want to be in, as you said. I felt like I wanted to improve my relationships, my closest relationships, my relationships with Hashem. I was willing to do anything. I was really willing to do anything. I wanted to get out of the rut that I was in.
Yeah.
And so they said, listen, the first thing you need to do is come clean, right? You know? We go into like, come clean, you know, just, and I said, okay, you know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And at that moment, I think that's the moment where a person, you know, sort of crosses the bridge into healing.
Yes.
when they are willing to, how badly do you want to make things better between you and your wife, between you and your kids, between you and your Hashem? I want to make it. How much are you willing to do? Willing to do anything? Then you get to that place where you're willing to, I think, open up.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah, that's a great point, and we've seen it happen here so many times with cases like this. For me, there was I think sharing it was one, just being able to talk about it for the first time, because when you live a life of potential is the word, pretend.
Right. Make believe.
At one point, you start, in a way, lying to yourself, and you're not sure already who you are.
You don't say.
Constantly putting masks. One day at work, one day at home, one day
you believe
with friends.
it. You start to believe it.
You start believing
you
your
believe
own
that's
story.
the truth. Of course.
And then then you look in the mirror one day and you say, "Who is it? Who is that person? I'm not sure who that person is." But so first of all, sharing that the problem is very, very comfortable, comforting. And then you see that you're able to express it, and you start being brave enough to deal with it. The second thing, what I found in Shakuf, which was really helpful, is when other people start sharing, you say, "Wow, I'm not alone," because until you share it, you think you're the only creature on earth that has this issue, and then you hear other people sharing, and you see, wow, it doesn't matter where you come from. What background you have,
right? What you look like, whatever. It's all
people have
this, not
similar,
religious, not religious.
Yeah, and you're not alone. You're not alone, and when you're not alone, you get the energy of being able to deal with things.
I think there's also a sense of listen. You see people changing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. We see. I mean, we see every month, every week, people just walk in, one way and come out a different way.
Yeah.
And it's not that people are, all of a sudden, growing a beard and peyote and whatever. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about people of all different types, and people actually coming to terms with who they are,
Yes.
making a commitment to their relationships, their most important relationships, and changing. And you say, hey, get me some of that.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's attractive. Get me some of that. And then, it's okay, well, the first thing you're going to have to do is, let's open the closet and see all the skeletons.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to expose the garbage. It's okay to start saying, "Wow, here's something I need work on." Because until that program, for me, it's all whatever I was good at, everybody knew about. Whatever I wasn't good at, it stayed in the closet, like you said. Let's not. This is not going to help my.
There's a padlock there.
Let's close it and throw the key away.
Right. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I think one of the things that, this is something that we've learned here, but also something that's Breslov, that there's, people come, on the high holidays, on Yom Noraim, and they go and they tell a guy, listen, about this closet, I know what's in there, this comes out, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think the difference is here is there's what we call, a nikudat tzaddik and nikudat chaver, that there's a person that you can speak with a person. You go and speak with another, person. You make yourself vulnerable.
Right.
And also someone who may be a teacher, and you say, hey, this is where I'm holding, and you can get some perspective from somebody else. That's, it's amazing. There's no replacement for davening and talking with the Rabbanu Shalom. He'd go to do it or whatever it is, or regular davening. But to be able to come to a friend and to be able to say, here's where I'm at, and to get, someone to just listen.
Yeah.
In a very pashut way.
Yeah, I think the environment here in Shakuf is a place where you find yourself that it's safe. It's safe to show who you are with all the weaknesses. Everybody's on the same path of showing, you know what, I'm also like this. And it's not threatening. The world is not threatening. There's something here that...
Yeah, it's a very it's an environment that
and it allows you to talk about it, to deal with it, to get some tools how to deal with these issues, and everybody's holding hands.
Right.
Let's see how I can help you.
The world is a crazy place out there. It's a dog-eat-dog world, they say, and we've been in the world of business. Whether it's in academics or in real-time business dealings. No one is holding your hand.
Right.
No one is picking up the pieces.
Right.
They're stepping on you and walking along.
Yeah.
And how often can you actually be, even if in a community setting,
Right.
you know, the Jewish community, you know, there's all kinds of, you know, what do they think of me,
Yeah,
and my
politics,
standing, and
right.
where can you really just be yourself?
We found it here.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think that, you know, it's something that's applicable to all people.
Yeah.
It's just to come and be open and be yourself, because ultimately, that's how you want to be at home.
Right.
You know, with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, just to be yourself.
Well,
So?
great.
We could keep going, but I
Yeah,
guess
we can.
we'll continue next time.
We'll continue next time.
Okay, Ami, good
Have
seeing
a
you.
Great day.